So Castle Dark is being rebranded. We're going back to our medieval ways. We have 3 brand new mazes and 2 new scare zones this year. We've introduced our brand new sorceress Morgana, who has taken over the park, and her brand new maze, Morgana's Revenge, which is our largest of the 3 houses here. So Morgana's Revenge is going through the dungeon of our castle, and you encounter all her creatures as you're trying to find out where Merlin is in that maze, but he has completely disappeared from the park. We built it right next to the castle. The maze is extremely dark as you enter, because Castle Dark, so we kind of left it dark right there. You start off in her dungeon torture chamber, and then you end up finding out that you meet her pet dragons are inside, and then you find yourself trapped in the catacombs of spiders and skulls and trolls, and at the very end you find yourself in an enchanted labyrinth trying to make your way out back to the castle. We wanted to introduce a new female villain to the park, and we thought Morgana would be perfect, and she worked out really well. She's the new queen. She walks around the park, and all of our employees bow to her when she goes by, and it's kind of a fun new bit we have. House Next Door Maze is an 80s theme maze in 1988, and it is about an abandoned house where a college group wants to throw a party, finds out there's a mortuary house right next door, and they find some interesting ghosts inside. A man and his daughter used to live there. He was the caretaker for the mortuary next door, and his daughter died. So he ended up making this doll out of the body parts and bringing it to life with witchcraft. And so that's why as you go through the maze and these kids had that party in there, things go wrong, and you start encountering these evil dolls inside. If you look in House Next Door, you'll see a tribute to my favorite fast food joint in there from the 80s and still around. And then you'll see some family portraits that are actually my family, so that's kind of fun. You'll see a dollhouse in there that's actually a replica of the house from Poltergeist, so that's funny. They wanted to do that one, so that was fun. And they put a lot of classic toys in there. There is a Raggedy Ann doll in there, and Andy in there as well. So we wanted to do something fun like that. In the Funhouse maze, there are some ventriloquist dolls. There are some classic ventriloquist dolls you'll remember from some scary books from our childhood that are in there too. Our Funhouse is open to the public, and it got shut down, and you find out why, that these clowns are in there, but they're not so much clowns as they are creatures underneath there as well. So we're definitely looking at expanding. I'm very excited to expand next year with a new maze, and definitely I think Morgana is going to be around for a while. People love her, so she's not going anywhere anytime soon, that's for sure. But we're definitely going to be expanding and adding a lot more to the park, some new elements and stuff. You could be seeing some new experiences next year besides mazes. So can't really get into detail yet, but we're already planning for next year. And especially because I'm a big fan of Knott's, that's where we all came from Knott's on. So being that this is Bud's original park from, his Calico Mine Ride and Log Ride, there's a lot of history that a lot of people don't realize, that you come here and you see a lot of reference to Knott's architecture and stuff because he did it here too. So I really want to pull back into that history, especially because you don't find parks like this much around anymore, this small, especially out in this area, So I was really excited to see how we theme it, especially with all the carnival rides and stuff. So I really want to pull more next year into expanding on that, especially with how much space they have available in the park.